I am Majesty, also known as the Play Party Princess, the sexy sweetheart, the wholesome hoe, the chocolate Velma, the cultivator of good vibes and all of the things.
I love all of those
I
adjectives.
like all the words.
Can we dissect
All
that
the
for a
names.
second?
Yeah.
Can we dissect
Oh,
that
let's
with the
do it.
first one?
The play party.
Play Party Princess. You have never been to a play party that is as sexy.
Well,
Let
what is
us
a
know.
play
Yeah,
party?
let us know.
'Cause I don't know what a play party is.
So a play party is think of a social event, a social gathering where people are just sexy in lingerie, and if you catch a good vibe with somebody, sex could happen. The environment is sexy where sex could happen. There's beds, there's condoms, there's puppy pads, there's lube, there's
What's the puppy pad?
puppy pads. Okay, so
Wait.
for the squirters,
Oh, okay.
I use puppy pads because like other people are gonna be fucking on the space that
Gotcha.
you're fucking on. We can't be messing shit up. So puppy pads.
Especially with the pox out here.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely don't want
You
that.
know what I'm
in
saying?
the covert.
In the
But-
covert.
But but I'm so
Introduce us to what these
Bring
play
us in your
parties
world.
look like. Yeah, like bring
So
us into the
all
into
play
your
parties
world.
are different. So if you want to go to a play party is really like an umbrella term. So
Okay.
you can go to a play party that is strictly just like kink and there's no sex happening, or you can go to a play
Whack.
party where there's sex is happening.
okay.
No, those
Wait.
are also still those are also still fun. Then you can go to play parties where there's sex happening, like a swingers event or like a sex party. So play party is really an umbrella term.
so a swing. Okay. So it's like a general term. All right. So a swingers party is a play party too.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Where any sort of play is happening. So I like to host parties that are like a mixture of sex. It's definitely like 75% sex and then 25% like kink. for
What
my
would I?
friends.
All right. So if a play party is a general term, and for example, the swingers party is a version of a play party,
Mhm.
what would be if there is a terminology for the play party that you're hosting? 'Cause that's the parties I want to go to.
I would call it a sex party.
Sex party.
It's definitely just like a sex party.
That's what I mean, sex
You-
parties.
have
Make
you
sure you let us know like when your party's coming up.
I have an all women's play party coming up in Bushwick, Brooklyn on September 3rd. I'm going to have some other stuff coming up, but they're not ready to announce yet. But September 3rd, there's going to be the Femsations Part 2, all women's play party.
So
in
can I
Bushwick.
ask you a question?
Femsation?
Femsations.
If a
Are you
man-
doing any exceptions?
Not at all. not a one.
Exceptions to the femsation.
Not at all.
Well, I mean, wait, we're living in a new world. So what if I'm a man and I identify myself as a woman? Can I come to your
Oh,
party?
wow.
So we do allow.
And
it
I'll
is-
still let my thing hang though.
It is women and women and
Wow.
That's a
femme
good point.
identifying people. So if you identify as a femme, then you are welcome to the Femsations party.
Well, looks like I will be there
be a
on
woman that
September
day.
3rd.
It don't work like that, love. It don't work like that. But it's a
So
good
what-
time.
No
what can-
disrespect.
So again,
We're just joking. We're just
we
joking.
don't know a lot of the terminology and stuff. So like let us know like if someone is interested in attending, what can they expect?
So at the very first sensation, we had a breath work. We opened with a breath work, just getting everybody in the mood, getting the juices flowing. And then after that, we have beautiful music playing. The space is beautiful. The people are beautiful. Everybody is in lingerie. If you want to, I hosted a nice masturbation circle. That was my only wish was a masturbation circle. So there was a couple of us sitting around in a circle, and we were all able to like kind of like face each other towards the center and just masturbate. And you were able to touch yourself and watch other people touching themselves, and it's just like a
Wow, that's kind of sexy.
Yo,
It was
I
hot.
would love. I mean, with the sensation part, I would love that. Like, that's one of my turn-ons is when a girl plays with herself. That's one of my turn-ons, especially like if she's riding me and she playing with her. Oh my god, like that's like forget me, enjoy you. I want to watch you enjoy you, baby. Like that's all I
So
want.
you could set that up for yourself, but it ain't happening at Femsations, love.
Why?
Dun, dun, dun,
Why? Because there's
dun.
no-
That's women only.
It was a women and femme identifying people only.
So
Okay.
you also have those same parties with both genders.
Yes, I do. So I also
And that's
host.
gonna be when.
I'm having one actually this weekend in DC, August 20th. And it's going to be a beautiful, sexy, amazing time because I'm very particular about my parties. I like to hand select the people that are able to come to my parties. So
Do we qualify in here?
Oh, wow.
y'all be invited.
Hand
Why'd you double
selected.
take that
Hand
me?
selected.
Were you-
Hands- I
were
had
you
to- I had to do a
curious if
scan-
I
I
can
had to do a
come?
scan around the room. Y'all would be invited to the film
Thank
station.
you
Hand
so much.
selected.
Yes.
We appreciate that over at 8 at the table.
And like some
Yeah.
people don't want to do this like everybody's invited, and I hear that and I understand that, but there has to be some level of exclusivity. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hosting something for everybody. I'm hosting something that is high level. I like bougie shit, and I want bougie people there. So
Are you calling us bougie?
Y'all giving bougie vibes.
Wow.
It's the hoop
We're-
earring that's
we're
giving me
drinking
bougie.
fine champagne.
Champagne. So that's really, really
pinky,
dope.
the pinky up. You feel me? I like bougie shit, and I like bougie.
Do you ever see anybody have performance anxiety at your parties?
1,000% all the time.
What is that like? Because I would like to find out what performance anxiety is. I've had performance anxiety once when I was in high school.
Okay.
I cut school. I thought it was about to be popping. It was the first time we was alone. We always had to do sneaky shit. Her parents was gone. Bruh. If anything was getting up that day, it wasn't me. And it
the
just
sun.
it didn't no. Aaron, it would actually have to get up to go there. I don't know if it was the pressure because we snuck around so much and that was so exciting. You know, now we're in her apartment. There's nobody.
It's
there.
regular.
It's so quiet. Parents are gone. They went down south. And she's like, okay, baby. I was like, excuse me.
Hello.
Wake up. Hello. You with me?
Now's the time.
So what happens if you get there and someone's having performance anxiety?
I feel like, I as a woman, I've experienced even not having situations like that where people have performance anxiety, not even at parties, just solo by ourselves. So you do the things that you need to do. Like if I'm really feeling you and I'm willing to invest the time, then like we're going to dial it back for a second. We're going to talk. We're going to watch some TV. We're going to have a
party?
drink. Yeah. So here's the thing about play parties. People think that it's like a fuck fest. It's not that at all. You want to catch a vibe with somebody. Your penis is not going to enter a vagina unless you catch a vibe with someone. You don't want your penis to enter a vagina because it's probably not even going to be wet if you don't. You got to catch a vibe. You got to make her, make that person feel safe. And they got to do the same thing for you. So think of it, I always tell people, think of it as like a social gathering.
My
where
brain is completely somewhere.
Think of it as a social gathering where sex is an option. The room is already sexy. The room smells good. The beds are already there. The people are beautiful. The music is, everything is set in place
set
for you
up
to have sex.
already.
All you have to do, your only responsibility is to meet somebody or some peoples and catch a vibe.
That makes it so much harder. Because when I walked in,
How?
Everything is set.
that's my point. And now I don't even want to talk. Like I'm lit. This is lit. The beautiful people. It smell good.
But-
this room got a
Like, what's
red
your
light.
name?
Oh my god.
No, here's
What's your name? Do you want to just go over here?
and I promise if you came to one of my parties, it wouldn't work. But the people are so like interesting as people, and I have really cool like dope sex workers that come to my parties as well. Like you're gonna want to have a conversation with these people. You're gonna want to talk to these people. You're gonna want to catch a vibe. You're gonna want to have eat some fucking fruit snacks and drink some some of your liquor. Like you're gonna want to like communicate with these people and have an experience.
Is there like what if you're like into voyeurism, right? And you don't particularly want to play, but you just want to like
Watch.
Yeah, is
That
that
is
appropriate?
100% acceptable. You never have to, when you go to a play party, if you ever go to a play party and somebody tells you that you have to play, that's probably not a safe environment for you to be in, honestly.
That
If you
makes
do
sense,
not want to play, you are not obligated to do anything that you do not want to do in that space, ever. That is consent in a package. That's consent. You don't ever have to do anything that you do not want to do.
You know, I've never. Hold on.
Rethink that.
It's the stuttering.
Let me try these waters.
Hold on. I don't need nobody commenting on the.
Walk it back.
Well, what about this day? I'm
Oh,
like,
fuck.
well, you're right, but I've never been to a actual play party of that sort.
Mhm.
You know, I've been to places that I didn't know was going to be that, and
Then it gets crazy.
and it just got crazy. Yeah.
It's better when it's planned. It's way better because
Because you know
when
what
I
you're
do-
walking into.
But I
I'd be so
decorate the
excited.
place.
It'd be like Christmas the day before. I'm not sleeping. I'm like, damn, I wonder what's
No,
gonna happen.
I decorate the place. I hire people to do like different like BDSM demonstrations. I have a
nice.
spanking bench. I got a Sibian. Like I got somebody
Wait,
like
a what?
a Sibian.
No, the second
The
thing.
Sibian, it's like a saddle that has like that vibrates and you put different attachments on it so you can like sit on top of it, like on top of the saddle.
Oh,
You know what I'm
never
saying?
heard of it.
Listen,
I would love it.
That's so
I'm not.
listen.
I'd be on some voyeurism.
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 Mhm.
I'd definitely be a voyeurism for some of these things.
Just watching or being watched?
No. I don't like being watched, but I don't mind it. It depends. Like for me personally, like I would prefer only a woman watch. Right, that's just me.
I want to be watched.
I love being watched. I'm very much an
Yeah.
exhibitionist.
No, I mean like,
Aaron says she's into that, right?
like
Absolutely.
if I was messing we're not, right? Disclaimer. But if me and Majesty was messing around, right, and Aaron was like, "Can I watch?" I'd be like, "Definitely." But no offense. But if Park was like, "Can I watch?" I'd be like, "No, bro."
Park's like, what?
But if you're having sex in a
Well,
room,
Park got the camera, so I was just like, I'm like, "Listen, man, you're my guy, but nah, this not cool."
but if
I
you're having
agree
sex
with
in a
Rico.
room and the door is open, like there might be
Nah,
10
I want
people
a
in
bunch
the
of
room
dudes
watching.
me. Have
Well,
sex.
don't do that because I'm a performer, you know. So like if I know that the doors are open and there's 10, 20 people,
That's how it is at a play party,
that
though.
but now I'm learning. I'm gonna put on a goddamn show.
You should.
There's going to be people. There's going to be people in
You
and
was
out the
talking
room.
about
people
Denzel?
watching.
King Kong ain't got
Shit
nothing
on me. Oh, damn.
25.
So yeah, see now let's try to stay above 25,000 now, right? So my thing is this, in I just want to find out.
Mhm.
For me, I'm married happily. If I walked into a play party, I'm not really into all that talking. I don't want to talk that much, right? But what I want to do is, if it's okay, with full permission, full consent, and full permission. That's very important. I'm being very serious. Full consent and full
That's what
permission.
I'm talking about.
I want to join a couple of girls that's already into what they're doing. Y'all warm each other up, and then I just want to slide in.
I'm gonna tell you that 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna work like that. I always tell you have to catch a vibe first. So if that's something that
I'm a whole vibe, but I'm just saying
you
that.
have to catch the vibe.
Alan's like,
you
I
gotta
am the vibe.
catch it.
I'm
Like
going in there with a catcher's mitt.
you gotta
know
go
what
in
I'm
there and
saying?
catch the vibe. So if that's something that you're into, it can I promise it could happen. But you're not gonna just walk into a bunch of women playing and just insert your.
No,
dick
I'm
in
not
there.
insert. I'm gonna kiss you first. Kiss you.
But there's a level of communication that needs to happen
Yeah.
first. What do you even like? How do you even like your dick? I'm assuming you want to get your dick sucked, probably. How do you even like your dick sucked? There's a level of
I
conversation.
want to watch
happen.
for a little bit. I want you to suck that pearl tongue out her body. Like I just want to see it first.
There's a negotiation period that happens.
What do you be saying?
He's grown, Yumi.
Oh, okay.
Chris,
Christopher.
Chris grown.
listen.
Right.
Me and Chris had a lot of conversations.
Chris might gotta show his daddy something.
The apple does not fall far from the tree.
I'm just saying, Christopher. You know,
He's grown.
And he's a Sagittarius.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
You was
that
Yeah, of course.
When?
Of course, December 21st.
Oh, well, we have another over here.
Hey.
Me too.
Mine is
November
sad,
30th.
sad. and Chris is December 17th.
Oh, yeah, and Chris.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
There's a lot of y'all in
Lot
here.
of
God damn.
Oh, we can't get excited when it's not an Aquarius.
When there's too many of a Sagittarius, can be a problem.
I'm feeling the hateration. And
Yeah,
I'm liking it.
It's like
I'm feeling it.
emanating.
I feel it. It's getting warm.
Yeah.
So
She look. I'm just sweating, no reason.
I just want to go to a party.
Listen, I'm going to be hosting parties and stuff. You're welcome to come to an event.
I'm excited. Don't
I actually think that we should attend for research purposes.
Okay.
let's do it.
Let's call it that.
Okay.
It is for research.
Well, we can't go to the one with all women because we're
Whoa.
guys. When's your
Listen,
next?
you gonna come and play?
What is that called when it's men and women? It's called.
Like I guess we call
Co-ed?
it co-ed.
Oh, cool.
So beyond the one this weekend, I haven't planned the next one. I want to do something probably October, but I'll let y'all know when I'm doing the next
Yeah,
one.
if you need help, I'll help you plan it.
I don't need help planning it. Listen,
No, I just said
I'm just saying
if.
I do this. This is.
No, I just want to be involved.
I hear you, but you know how some people are like good at working out.
Just
I'm good
let
at
me
planning
be
sex
in-
parties.
It
That is
sounds
my
like it.
craft.
Majesty,
Sounds like it.
This is my thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get in trouble. You're not helping. No.
You want to be? You could be on the planning committee. I need flyers
Thank you,
made.
thank
There you go. See,
Let me-
Rico's like the person
Let
that's
me
on
do
the
that.
committee but don't really do
Host the
nothing.
event,
I
you
spoke
know.
to-
You could be on the setup.
I spoke to Mistress Molly,
Mhm.
and when I was talking to Mistress Molly, she came. She did 8 After Dark, and I was like, "Yo, you know what? You, sexual essential, finesse.
Mhm.
All you guys do these sex parties and everything. We should do a table. Maybe Rico and Aaron could host it of all the doms and all of that, and you guys could talk.
I was actually considering my next party doing like a live podcasting thing. I feel like that'd be
Fire.
some fucking dope shit.
Fire.
And lingerie.
In lingerie, but I'm gonna have one room that's allowed for content. I have a lot of friends that are content creators that come to my events. If you want to make some content, there should be a space for that. So I definitely want to do something like that.
Well, hold on.
Wait, no, I
On
have a
behalf
question.
of Alan and 8 at the table, we're gonna create some content.
do your
8
thing,
After
love.
Dark.
It's all
That'll
gonna be
dope.
blurred.
Yeah.
Where's Barbara?
And it's only going to be available on Patreon.
That's it. It's gonna be all. Well, Patreon, you get to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
You can show pussy on Patreon?
No,
Oh.
you can't. We're new to Patreon. We're very
I've
new
never
to it.
used it, so I don't know.
No,
we got great editors.
Yeah,
You know,
we'll
I
find
have
a
a
way.
question though. While y'all trying to be on a planning committee, I really just want to know, like, how did you get into this? Like, how did you find a safe space to like be sexually open? Because I feel like women don't have that
Yes.
opportunity for the most part.
So my journey was a little bit different than some other people. I got into the community. I lived in Virginia. I worked a lot. Well, I lived in North Carolina and worked in Virginia. I worked a lot. I was working 12-hour days. I was driving an hour and a half to work every day. I had no time to actually meet people. So I used to just be like, fuck, I just want to have sex. Where can I go to just have sex? I want to have sex and leave, pretty much. So I looked up sex parties. Like,
Wow.
I was like, I need to, like,
You want to have the release.
listen, you got to handle your business. And I just want to have sex and leave. So I was like, I wonder if sex parties are real. So I got online and started looking up sex parties, and I found some, and I was like, holy shit. Okay, let's try this out.
That's a thing.
And then I went to my very first sex party in Virginia, and I had the night of my life. I had one of the best nights to this day, one of the probably definitely top 10 nights of my life. The very first night I went, and I was like, okay, I'm in it. And it was kind of like navigating that. That was a swingers party that had a little bit of kink. And then I ended up in the kink community really heavy. And then I've kind of swayed between swing and kink right now. I'm very, very much more on the swing side of things more than the kink BDSM side. And it was just kind of like that. And then during COVID, there wasn't really too many sex parties happening. And I was like,
not.
there were some happening. And honestly, the best ones happened during COVID because they were smaller. When it's smaller, it's a lot more intimate.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Listen, I'm paying attention.
Listen, I got 10 of my friends. It was 9 of us together in the Poconos, in a cabin in the Poconos for a weekend.
Wow.
Poconos get a little freaky. Let me tell you.
Wow.
Poconos is a code word. Everybody.
Listen.
Yeah.
I can see how that's gonna go.
Listen.
Yeah,
It was-
Poconos, when people like, yo, y'all should all go to the Poconos. That's code word for y'all should go all there and do an orgy.
Listen.
Right.
We went to it was not 10 of us. We went to the Poconos, and it was just like an everything goes weekend. And it's not usually like that at a big party,
Weekend.
Weekend.
Oh my god.
but we had a weekend, and it was still one of the most amazing times that I've ever had. And after that, everybody was like, yo, you're really good at like putting this stuff together. You should do it. And then I just started hosting parties.
Were there couples at this Poconos weekend? Or was it just like a bunch of like a hodgepodge of people?
The thing is, like, most of us kind of knew each other. Most of us knew each other. We had at least had sex before. We knew each other from different like kink groups that we were in. So, but I don't.
It's a community already.
Yeah, definitely.
okay,
There was,
okay, gotcha.
probably like 2 different groups. Well, then there was primarily one group, but we all kind of knew each other through that group, and then some of us were already like play partners or friends through that.
I love this term.
What's a play partner? I
A
think
play-
people need to know.
Like green light to go fuck other people.
No. A play
that
partner
y'all
is
fuck
somebody
each
that
other.
you either like have sex with or you indulge in different like forms of BDSM play with. So it could be sex. It could just
play
be
with them.
somebody that beats your ass on the weekends when you want a nice little like domination impact scene.
when you want a spank session.
Mhm.
So listen to this, right? This is a real fact. I don't have the facts. I was trying to Google it right now. Google's your friend, but
Shout out to Aaron.
big
Thank
shout
you.
out. So historically, this is very true. I don't have all the facts. They said that orgies, since the beginning of time, have always been a spiritual experience. And
Yeah.
what this is just my opinion. I don't have the facts.
Mhm.
Done right with the right energy, even a threesome transcends a different sort of energy that most people don't feel. It's almost like it's literally almost like a high that cannot be explained.
Yes, I don't have the facts, but from experience, 1000%. Yes, I have never in my life felt more godly than I did after having an MFM threesome at a play party.
MFM.
Male, female, male. So the guys weren't
Yeah.
interacting. I was kind of like the focal
They
point.
didn't interact though.
No,
Male,
I mean
male.
they were cool. They were cool people. They were like
Pam.
friends. You know what I'm saying? But I was the focal point. Like
High five, my boy.
it was very high five. It was very high five, my boy, for them.
High five, bro.
But because the way it started, one of them, he's really good at like making women squirt. He has it down to like a science. So he was like, "Can I show him how to on you?" And I was like, yes, you can." And that was kind of like how it got started. And I've never felt more godly than I did in that moment. Even the people that were walking by kind of like had to stop and were like, wow, this is beautiful. And then after I got this one and this one in my arms, and they're just, enjoying in this moment, giving me my aftercare, having their aftercare. It was the most.
See, we don't know about aftercare.
Very important.
Yeah. And if we could explain to people, all right, I've been out and about, and I always tell the story. My wife knows the story. I used to hang around modeling agency style. One of my old heads, he ran models. So models are crazy sometimes, right? And they do a bunch of crazy stuff. So I've made a lot of friends that were models.
You said drugs.
No, I did. I made a lot of friends that were models. And sometimes they'll be like, yo,
We're on
Arlen,
drugs.
what are you doing tonight? I said, oh, it's just me and my homies hanging out. And the girl, she's like, it's me and 4 of my girls. And they would do everything with you, right?
What's everything?
Like they just fuck, they eat each other out, they do everything. And my friend, well, for us, I'm a very
Sexually, they're doing a lot.
I'm conservative though, in a sense, right?
Times have changed.
Yeah, I'm very conservative in a little bit. But the thing was, my friends be like, all right, I'm out. I'm like, you can't do that, bro. You gotta make sure she's good. You gotta make sure she gets home. You gotta make sure. There's so many things you gotta do when it's done.
You've talked about that before.
Yeah, and it was like, it always bothered me that I just didn't want to rock with that anymore because I think like everything was fun, but still make sure that Shorty and her girls are at least gonna be good. And I've had a bad experience even that this girl came up to me. She was like, yo, your friends is in that other room. And I wasn't doing nothing. I had nothing to do with it. And she was like, they want to do something. Can I do it? I was like, yeah. They're cool. And it just got bad. I've been in that position.
Yeah.
And then she came back to me. She was like, well, she looked at me like,
Why didn't you say
Vouch for
anything?
them.
yeah, you vouch for them.
I didn't vouch for him. I told you it's okay.
That is.
But
vouching
you know if
still.
your friends are
are
like
fuckboys.
trash or
But
not.
my friends are not fuckboys though. My friends are very decent people. I don't know what happened, right? They didn't rape her or nothing. It was just like, it was just a good experience for her. And I was just
Sounds like one of those $40 experiences.
But
Sounds
also,
like
when you
one of
don't
those
express,
high five, but she didn't want it to. See,
when you don't express your needs
want
in
no
one
high
of those
five.
situations, you have to be able to express explicitly what you want and what you need.
But I want to talk about aftercare though. Can you talk about that so
So,
you could explain it to us?
Aftercare, after
Not
you,
getting it.
sex is something that it is a beautiful experience. It feels great. We all know this, but it can be something for some people. There can be a lot of trauma around sex.
Okay.
And so, and then, some people need to be let down off of those endorphins. There's a lot of
the high.
endorphins. Yes, off of that high. They need to be let down off that high gently. You cannot just walk up and walk out the room and just leave them to deal with that on their own. Some people need cuddles. Some people need fruit snacks. Some people need water. Some people need a robe. Some people just need a nap. Whatever.
Hot towel.
Listen, whatever it is that you need to be able to vocalize that to somebody to let them know this is how I need to be let down off of this
I'm
high.
so sorry.
Because it's a
I don't
high.
mean to
It
be,
is a
I don't mean
high.
Aaron just made me really, really laugh because I.
Am I wrong about the
Look
hot
at her
towel?
face.
I take a
Nah,
wet
the
wipe.
thing is,
Towel.
I just learned that like within the
Are
last
you serious?
2 years of my life, like I'm like I said,
You
I'm
used
not,
to give cold towels?
Wet towels.
yeah,
No
I used to-
towel.
I would give
A wet wipe?
I would give a dry rag.
Oh my God.
Like I told you, I'm not good at aftercare.
Are you serious?
I swear, and like my girl was like, "Well, damn, at least make it moist." So the first time I was like, "All right, like this is extra." So I'm over here running the water. I'm like, "All right, here you go." She's like, "It's cold, make it warm." I'm like, "You want me to sit here and wait for the hot water? Like this is
Yes.
Are you
You
serious?
just got some
Lied.
fucking pussy. Are you
Why
serious?
do y'all treat it like
But,
that
like,
was a
I'm saying, that
gift?
you gotta
She
realize,
got some dick.
and this is
If
not
you are
$40.
Received it. That's the thing.
This is-
No, I hear you, and I hear that as well. But also, we are going to do things for each other in this.
Agreed.
We're going to do things for each other. So I'm not going to give you. If I have an opportunity to spend 10 seconds to let the sick get warm, I'm gonna hand you a warm towel. I'm gonna wipe you up. I might hold your legs up like a baby and clean you
Right.
up. Like,
Nah, I mean, listen, we're not holding
Exactly.
my legs up.
listen.
I'm good.
I know you gotta do the 2 fingers
But what I will
Why
say,
can't you get up and get the towel?
for myself.
No, we can. No, she's not against getting the
Oh,
towel.
okay.
Myself. Yeah, I'm not against
For
it,
me,
but
you was riding me.
there are times
Yes.
that last night I gave somebody. Well, he didn't have access to hot water at the moment, so he got a wet baby wipe. You know what I'm saying? And it worked.
nah, that's cool. Like I got baby wipes all around my house. So I get it. But but what I will say is like the aftercare that we're talking about, I'm like very unfamiliar with opposed to like the last 2 years, I've been getting more aware of it. But like usually when we finish,
Would you just get up and leave?
I mean, it depends on who it is, what it
Okay.
is.
I-
I like, and if I'm not loving you,
So
you're not my
confused.
girl. I'm not really caring about your aftercare. I'm done. You're done. Either I go, you
But
go.
a woman
not-
needs aftercare.
But
No,
I'm not-
it's not just women. It's definitely men too.
Absolutely.
It's definitely men too. I literally,
So, like you be sitting there rubbing their head and like,
I had a nigga suck on the titty. He has a lactation fetish. He literally laid there and just sucked on the titty for like 30 minutes
Nah,
while I
I
sung
Suck
to
on
YouTube.
your titty?
Sucked on the
For his
titty
aftercare.
while I watched YouTube videos.
Nah,
He was just here with it, and
I'm
I was
good
just
on
like,
that.
okay.
No, but men like to cuddle too. Don't get it
no,
twisted.
I'm not. But I'm not saying that men don't. Right? I'm not disagreeing.
Cause y'all be wanting to get up
But
under
what
that
I'm
body.
saying-
You know what I'm saying?
When
There
I-
should be a backpack.
Right.
It depends if I really like you. Like I'm trying to think about like all the girls that I slept with, right, in my life, and there's a small portion that I dated, very small portion that I dated, and a small portion that I've entertained the idea of dating. So the aftercare for me was like never even. It was non-existent.
Wow.
But
See,
you know,
That's
I'm
crazy.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna
Like,
say
I
that
didn't
happens
need you
a
to cuddle
lot.
me because I don't really like you like that.
That
Like,
happens a lot in
no.
casual sex. I feel like
At
a
all.
lot of times in casual sex with a casual sex partner, people try to strip out everything that takes the sex and makes it
Emotional,
romantic and
yeah.
makes it good. So
Yeah.
they'll take out the cuddling. They'll tell people to take out the kissing.
Take out the kissing.
They'll take
yeah,
out
yeah.
the eating pussy or sucking. Like they'll take all of these things that where it's literally just friction.
Like, so
At
what
this
are we
point, I could have
doing?
did that myself. I didn't need you here to do that.
See-
If I wanted you here, I wanted a person here.
And again, this is why this is 8 at the table. I'm gonna say something, and this is a truth to it.
Go ahead.
I do believe now in aftercare. I'm thinking about it, right? Because now my wife, she bought a thing that warms up the stuff that you keep it next to your headboard, and it keeps anything warm, like wet wipes and
That's
everything else,
Yeah, we
right?
got that too. Yeah.
Right.
Wait, what is
The
it?
baby.
That sounds
But-
nice.
So just a warmer
It's
for
a warmer.
anything?
She keeps a warmer next to the headboard,
Yeah.
right?
Coconut oil.
But let's talk for
Daughter
real.
was very, very like that. Like you cannot wipe her with a cold, wet wipe. She was not.
She probably like
playing.
hit your hand
Hell no.
away.
So
Close her legs, like look at you. I'm like, all right, like.
so it's the warmer, right? But let's be for real. Now that I'm thinking about this,
Mhm.
and I appreciate you,
Majesty.
Majesty. I really appreciate this. I want to say this to the audience, right? No one is giving you no aftercare after trash sex.
Facts.
It's not happening.
No. Cap.
Nope.
What?
Aftercare after trash sex?
I'm going false.
Some I know like
After trash
I
sex?
actually agree with with
I-
Alan.
listen, I have. So I gotta be transparent, right?
What do you think?
He's stuttering.
I
y'all.
hit some of my homies' girls, right? and
Wait, can you repeat that? You did what, Rico?
but we all know about it. But like I hit some of my homies' girls, right? But my homies are pretty much transparent for the most part too, right?
To
There's
the
two
most that you
there's
know.
two sides of the story, right?
I be beating that shit down crazy.
Yeah, I was wilding in it, and she's like, "Nah, it didn't happen that way."
Not even.
And like he said sorry, and we just laid together. So in my mind, she was giving him the aftercare. Cause sometimes if you I've had bad times
need to be caressed.
where I'm like, "Yo, my bad, I'm sorry," and she be like, "It's okay," and she will hold me, and she'll be like, next time, just make sure you show up better, and that's cool. But like, we've all.
It happens more often.
I now agree
as
with
a
you.
guy,
I agree with you. I had
Let me
to
tell you
think
something.
about it.
I'm gonna tell you
I
something.
got some
And
aftercare.
I don't want to put my business on Front Street, but when me and we have great sex. I have great sex. But when we box it out, I'm like, I'm gonna hold you.
I love you. I love you.
I'm gonna hold you, cause I'm like, damn, you
Yeah.
hold me.
You just need a moment because sometimes after sex you really feel like you're on a high, like it's a drug that
Yeah.
you've never experienced. You need that moment to
you
just
feel very exposed.
yes, like I just need a
you're,
moment.
you're
to just,
vulnerable.
Very exposed.
But I have never, and I will never. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You're too young to be saying never.
No. I know me more than me knows me. I know me.
You'll never do what?
I'm never doing aftercare after condom sex.
What?
But I'm not also not in any.
Well,
other
he's
relationship.
in a
I'm not in that industry.
monogamy. Not
You can't come
monogamous.
to none
What's
of my
that word?
parties.
He's in a
No,
committed relationship.
But
Okay.
like my thing is,
Y'all can't come to
committed
none.
relationship.
Y'all can't come to none
but
of my
my
parties.
thing is like I can't even see like for me if I put a condom on and I have sex with that woman, it's
It feels transactional.
It's almost it almost feels like I have to protect myself so much in this that I know I don't know you.
You can tell when he grew up.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I don't know you, you know? Like, when my girl right now, like, any girl that I ever dated, aftercare was almost kind of like normal. I should say it should be normal for most of the times because it's like I feel naked with you.
Yeah, you feel
naked
exposed,
when I'm
like Aaron said.
I'm not
That
wearing
exposure
anything.
is there.
I feel exposed.
If I like when I come inside of a girl, that's the best thing in the world. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
You feel connected.
yeah, with a condom on, I still feel our energy is still blocked.
But that doesn't
You know what I'm
mean
saying?
that person doesn't still need after, or even you. That doesn't mean that you still don't need after. You're not just discarding this person. Like I just, gave a part of myself to this person. I hate the term giving a part, but I just shared in this experience with this person, and now I'm just discarding them. They still need a moment of, even you. Sometimes you might not even recognize it, but you might still even need a moment of like, we just did this thing. Let me just come back down off of the high and the endorphins of busting this nut.
Nah, man. Look,
Not if it's
I
not
put a
good,
condom
though.
on, if I put a condom on and I have sex with that woman,
But to him, not
it's
that
just-
might be what's not good.
it's
Like
transactional. But even if it's not like honestly monetary, but it's like it's a transaction of experiences. You want
It's
an
not
experience.
commercial. It's a transaction, but it's not commercial.
Yeah, you want an experience. I want an experience. I like your vibe. You like my vibe. And this is as far as it goes. Like, I don't mix my intimacy with sex, right? I try to keep them separate for the most part.
do you have to be intimate to do aftercare, or do you have to be considerate?
No, it's a consideration thing.
But
I
it's
had-
not real though. By the way,
What you mean?
I'm not considerate. Like,
meaning that
It's
I didn't like when I told the story that I said to my friends is like I didn't need them to be like intimate with the aftercare. Just it didn't have to be real. It just had to be respected. It was like a form of respect of showing that these are women. I don't care what they do. They're beautiful women. They did this and let them be and show them the respect because they're gonna go about their business. But what I'm saying is like in a one-on-one, I agree with Rico. Not the condom part, but I agree with Rico. Like the sex was all right. Don't hold me, please. Yo, just like I'm trying to be out.
I hear what you're saying,
or
but
just want to go to sleep.
I think
Yeah,
that sex can turn bad when you try to take that is a part of the intimacy. And when you try to take that part of the intimacy, people make it seem like intimacy is only something that you can have with a partner that you're strictly committed to.
No.
Like
No.
that takes
Intimacy
a
with
part of it out.
prostitute.
For example, I used to have subs, male subs, and after me beating
Wait,
their ass.
can we give a sub definition?
So I used to have I used to be a professional dominatrix, and I would have submissives that would come in and serve me in different ways.
There's a whole wave on 8 at the table.
And
They're brave.
there were subs that I wasn't sexually attracted to. I didn't have sex with any of my subs, first of all. I was not sexually attracted to these people. But I know that in our play, they reached a point called subspace where you're in kind of like a very head floaty space. At that point, and when you get somebody in subspace, they are willing to do almost anything for you.
Is it
at
like a
that point.
high or
It's like a
something?
high.
Okay.
It really is a great feeling to be in. Once they reach that point, they need to be coached back down. You can't just drop them. It's like just, dropping somebody. You can't just drop them off the cliff. You have to coach them back down and get them back down to,
Yeah, I get you.
So even in a situation like that where it's not sexual, it's not, particularly intimate, it was my obligation.
So is sex a drug?
Of course.
I think orgasm is definitely a high for sure.
That you get from drugs.
Think
I
about
don't know
it,
a drug
right?
that
'Cause
feels like an
They
orgasm.
well, look, put it like this. If you guys heard it here at 8 at the table, they consider sugar a drug.
There we go. That's a good
They
point.
consider sugar a drug.
And if she got something sweet,
Need I say more?
That's a good point, Rico.
I think sex and the feeling that you get from orgasm can definitely be addicting, and so I think sex can definitely be,
and it's misguided. I think that people misguide sex. Like people don't really even understand how. So there's this guy named Napoleon Hill. He wrote a book, something about getting rich, right? And it's a good book. But in one of the chapters of the book, he talks about sexual transmutation, and people don't understand what sexual transmutation is. It's transforming sexual energy into power, almost like fuel. You know how we getting away from gas and we're going into solar power? So what sexual transmutation is, he says that when you're so sexually attracted to somebody, it could create an energy inside of you that make you become a millionaire. because that person's energy is so strong, you'll
Mhm.
do anything for it.
Yeah.
And he says sometimes you never even perform the act of sex. Sometimes it's your secretary, sometimes it's a woman in your office, sometimes it's somebody at your job, and you're just seeing it. And he says this creates this energy. That's why a lot of times men, once they're so sexually attracted to their mate, they get so hungry. They become so motivated.
Wars have started over
Wars-
sexual attraction
Tran-
and energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because so he called it
That part I don't agree with,
So-
but I understand. I don't agree with it.
in one of his chapters. What he says is one of the key. This is so crazy. One of the master's keys to success, to becoming rich, is sexual transmutation.
Or just, I agree 100%, and I also think going slightly left, it's also if we're talking about sexual transmutation in the sense of physical attraction, I also think there's one that is a sexual transmutation that's just a intimate attraction, like, you know, like my girl, like I feel like she deserves every single thing.
That's sexual energy.
But I also think that, and I'm being realistic, I also know, like, on Instagram, I see beautiful women all the time, but these beautiful women don't make me want to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot of
Because
sexual.
you don't have a sex. Do you have a sexual energy towards
I
them?
have sexual energy to them. Yeah, towards them. Yes, I do. But at the same time, I feel like when I'm maybe more intimate or more of an inner. I don't know what it is, but I feel like, even if it would never happen, but even if my girl was to, like, completely become unattractive to me and she does some unhealthy and she acts in,
If she got big.
if she, yeah.
Oh my
All
god.
right, so if my girl got to a size that I don't like, right, I would still be like, yo, I still feel obligated, like that energy that I would still feel obligated to just. It inspires me to drive to give her everything,
You're
right?
probably-
Want that thing.
No, you're probably some level of demisexual.
I maybe I may be, and you know what's
Wait, can we get a?
oh, yeah.
Demisexual is for some people, they need that some type of connection. It doesn't. They need to form some type of connection with somebody before they can have
Definitely
intimate, an intimate experience or intimate feelings with that person.
Even if it's just a vibe.
Yeah.
It can be something that takes 30 minutes to build. It can take
Gotcha.
something that takes a
Takes
year to build.
Yeah,
But you
I'm
need that
actually
level
like
of
that, yeah.
connection.
And that's the thing. See, and that's why I separate the two, because if I don't have a connection for you, doesn't mean I can't have sex with you. I can still have sex with you.
Then you're not demisexual.
Well, all right, maybe I'm demi-lovable. Like, I need that. I need, because I'm not
Demi-romantic.
I'm not gonna love you if I don't have a connection with you. But once I love you forever. It doesn't matter who it is. What, like, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a friend or my girl, and I feel like I need to help you out in whatever way or give you whatever I can give you. Now, when it comes to a sexual thing, I can separate them. I can separate a sex from just a momentary experience versus, the connection that I'm trying to invest in and actually, put forth that effort and energy towards me and you.
And that's definitely not demisexual.
Yeah, I'm confused.
That's not demisexual.
But even you.
Confuse the sexual.
We're not gonna say that because
All right.
there's
I'm gonna read the definition. Sexual energy transmutation is the conscious rechanneling. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta rewrite. Don't forget, I had ESL in the 5th grade. So let's bring that back. Sexual energy transmutation is the conscious rechanneling.
Channeling.
Channeling.
Changing the channel. Okay, rechanneling.
You want me to read it?
All right, yeah. Why don't you do that?
Or you can read it. You're
Alan,
a professional.
You know what you gotta do?
Not a
Just extend your
professional.
arm
That's
a
exactly
little
what
bit
it
more.
is.
I can
No,
read
Alan
it.
eyes don't work.
No, I could see it. It's just that I don't know how to pronounce rechanneling because it sounds like rechallenging.
Yeah.
All right.
You wanna-
all right,
okay.
yeah. I feel like I'm in the 6th grade again.
Somebody give Alan his glasses.
All right, look.
That he don't
Se-
want to wear.
Oh my Jesus Christ! Sexual transmutation is the conscious rechanneling of the creative potency of sex away.
You were in class, and he said the word wrong, but
I can't
everybody
say
just let
it.
him go.
I can't say the word rechanneling.
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 How do you say it in?
All right. You rechannel.
Rechannel.
I'm gonna use the word rechannel.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Because this is gonna work for me. Sexual energy transmutation is the conscious rechannel of creative potency of sex away from purely physical outlets
Okay, so yeah.
and into the sphere of endeavor such as art, music, intellectual, profession, politics, spiritual, business, sports, and etc.
So you know what, Alan, and that
Channeling.
I agree with you.
There you
I
go.
am a sexual transmutation.
Ist.
Ist.
I don't know. I'm just.
It goes into your art. I think like,
So
I
it
think
doesn't have
that
to be physical.
it doesn't, but sex is so much shamed on it. It blocks people.
I have a question though. Let's get down to the real deal.
Let's
we
do it.
we done enough of the textbook stuff.
That was the
know-
foreplay?
Yeah, exactly. Now we got to get into the punch in the guts.
Fire off, Aaron.
Like what I really want to know is like, so I made a comment like I guess a week or two ago about like women. We think that we have great sexual experiences, but our partners disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
If you could give like 5 things that women should do or be aware of during sex, such that it's a pleasurable experience for both parties, what would that be?
How do we make her box $40 to $6,000?
I cannot stand you.
I mean, well,
That's what it's stemming from. Punching in the gut.
Oh
There
my
goes it.
God! I mean, you're all right. You're right.
5 things. The very first one, which I feel like anybody who understands sex is going to say the same thing. Know yourself.
Yep.
Know what you like. Know the ways that you like your pussy touched, the way you like your pussy aged, the way you like for penetrative sex to be. Know, do you even like your some people don't like their nipples played with, and that's okay. Know that. Some people, I feel like there's this thing that goes around, people are like, spitting in the mouth is this thing. If you don't like that,
Then
don't
you
do
don't like
it.
it.
You don't like it, and that's okay. So be able to vocalize that. Know yourself. Know what you like. I think is the first and foremost step. You cannot ask somebody to please you if you don't know how to please yourself. You're expecting them to just go in blind and just be doing shit.
Yeah.
No. So that's number 1. Number 2 is understanding what you like and then releasing whatever shame is around that stuff. There's a lot of shame that comes with sex, whether you are someone that enjoys sex with multiple people at a time. There's a lot of shame around that. Whether you are somebody that likes maybe like some type of sex that might be looked at as very like violent and aggressive. There's some shame centered around that.
Like choking.
Choking till you black out. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of lit, actually, if you try it, you know? But
Yeah, I can't do that. It opens doors.
listen, different strokes for different folks, but
Yeah.
also releasing whatever shame that you have around the things that you enjoy. Again, so that you can vocalize those things and that you feel comfortable enough even asking somebody who is engaging in sex with you to do that. Another thing that I would say is asking your partners what they enjoy. I feel like we don't do that. That is something that I utilized in the last couple of years, and it's completely changed my sexual experiences. If I'm going to engage with somebody, especially at like a play party or something like that, we might only be together for the next hour. I want to give you the best hour that you can possibly have. So I'm not going to sit down and try to figure things out and go through the list of things. I'm going to ask you what you like. How do you like your dick sucked? Do you like it super wet? Do you like hands? Do you like throat? Do you like
Both.
what do you like?
Throat, wet, and hands. Go ahead.
Check all the boxes and be able to do the same thing for yourself. So giving them that experience. And then after that, being able to read somebody's body language. I think men have gotten a lot better at reading body language because as women, a lot of times, I'm speaking very heteronormatively, we are typically the receivers. And so I have
A lot of body language.
there's a lot of body language, but we kind of, I know that for me, I don't even pay attention. I used to think like it is your responsibility to make me come.
Yeah.
And
Yo,
it's
and
not
that's-
it's not a man's responsibility to make me come.
And you know, as a dude who has sex with a lot of women at my younger age, that was always a thing, and it was like a telepathy thing. Like I don't really know, you know, how to. Like every woman is different, and every woman wants to be touched different, felt different, stroked different, kissed different, and it's so hard, especially like, you know, as a 21-year-old. 22-year-old, because a lot of women at that age don't even know themselves
They
yet.
were being performative. At that age, you're being performative.
Yeah.
At that point, you're being performative.
And then it's like, you know, I'm not giving like, you know, maybe there are some people in that age bracket that do know themselves. You know, no shame or no disrespect or judgment towards that. But from my personal experience, it's like, it's so hard from a dude's perspective. Like, if I'm 22 and she's 22, and I think I'm doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? Because you know why? She's moaning and she's wet, but yet She's also, you know, 5 years later, she's 27. She's telling me she just had her first orgasm. So
You know why?
so-
And
but it's like, oh, my bad. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know why? I think it's because women are not, like, in society, women are not given a space to be sexually explorative, if that's even a word. Like, we don't, like, there's shame attached to it when women want to, you know, talk about sex, or, like, you know, okay, yeah, you had a train at 21. They gonna talk shit about
Threesome.
you. You know what I mean? Or you had a threesome at 21. You know,
Threesome.
well,
It's
I
a
mean,
threesome.
No.
but it may
It's
have
a
been,
threesome.
No, it's not.
It's a threesome.
No, it's not.
It's a threesome.
well, I think there's a difference between a train and a threesome. So
We'll
I'm
have to
just
agree to
gonna,
disagree. It's a threesome.
Right.
What's a train and what's a threesome?
I think a train is when the woman is not the center of, like, of attention. So
Are 3 people having sex at a time?
No.
it is 3.
No.
Well, no, it could be more, actually. A train could be
It's-
more.
It's 2 parties of 2
Yeah.
people. It's 2 parties of 2 people.
But
So
I don't-
there's a guy and a girl and a guy and a girl, but
That's a couple swap.
no. What I'm saying is the girl is the common denominator, but the guys are not interacting with each other, which makes it not a threesome. For a threesome, all parties should be interactive with each other.
if it's like that's why we have MFM, FFM, and all that stuff.
Right.
MFM is male, female, male, and the males are separated by the F, the female, so the men are not interacting. But if 3 of them are having sex, that's still an MFM threesome. But if there's an MMF, then the 2 males are interacting, and the woman is as well. So
So this
But what I'm
actually
saying
goes
is-
back to what I was
But
saying.
then, so then
the
what's
threesome.
a train?
I don't know
mean,
I know what people used to call a train,
I mean,
and it was a term used to degrade women that wanted to have
Right,
sex with multiple men at a
exactly.
time. But
I
that's
mean,
just group
I mean,
sex.
Okay, so let's take away the world's society stigma of the word,
Mhm.
and then when we take that away from the word, I mean, then we're left with the definition. So like,
Sex.
yeah, so
It's group sex.
nah, fuck.
It's
see,
a group
that's what-
sex.
you almost
That's
made me
what,
curse.
that's what that's the whole point. Like, women don't have an opportunity to experience these types of
Without being
things
degraded.
without it being a negative
but that's what I'm
connotation
saying.
attached to
But
it.
I'm saying is here at eight at the table, what we're going to do is we're going to take away shame, stigmas, negative connotations away from words and call it what it really is. So if
So it's group sex. That's what
but
she said.
Literally.
what I'm saying is if by definition
Mhm.
a threesome is saying all parties are having sexual interactions or intercourse with each other, then that's that definition. If we're saying that if a train, and I'm not saying that it is, I'm saying if we're saying a train is a woman having sex with 2 different men, but the men are not interactive with each other, then it's a train.
It's
2 or
still
more,
a
yeah.
threesome.
But what I'm saying is, at the same time, we're not saying. See, when I feel, this is what I feel now. What I feel when we're talking about a train
with
versus a
reality.
threesome, there's a defense mechanism that comes for train, and that's what I'm trying to strip away.
Because it was a term that's used to degrade.
But that's what I'm saying. Let's take away the degrading part and just use a term.
And
That's what
so
she's saying.
that's
She's saying it's group sex.
if you're using the
But why
term
are you trying to
train,
get away from the word? Is what I'm saying. if there's
because
no
the
negative
term was
connotation-
meant to degrade. That was the purpose of the word, was to degrade. That's what a
You
train
don't run
was.
a train on a man.
What it is
running
a-
a train on a
I mean,
woman.
There's probably men that have trains ran on them too.
But we
We call it
But
a
you-
reverse gangbang. That was the word for it when it was a man's turn to be the focal point of attention in multiple women. But train was a term that was used to degrade. It was a term that was meant to be degrading. Other than that, it's just a threesome. It is an MFM threesome. The men do not have to. If it's 2 men and a woman, the men do not have to engage with each other for it to still be a threesome. If you gotta,
Damn, this is crazy.
Why do we need to kind of rephrase for train, but like we try to reclaim hoe and slut?
some people don't try to reclaim hoe and slut, you know. But I think I think being able to reclaim that word is a beautiful thing, because in my mind, if you want to call it a train, you can call it a train. But in this context, you're trying to use it. It feels like you're trying to use it in a way that is degrading, to degrade. And so I
No.
want to
That's how
I want to
said it.
differentiate that.
When I said it, that's exactly how I meant.
Exactly. And so I want to differentiate that. I love the idea of reclaiming the word hoe, because for me, the worst thing that anybody can call me is a hoe or a slut. That is literally the worst thing that somebody call me, because you can't call me broke, you can't call me ugly, you can't call me dirty, there's nothing else that is the worst thing that somebody could call me. So once I do that to myself, what else you got left?
I mean, I think there's way worse words than that. But what I
They're
will
worse words, but you can't call me worse, because I'm a phenomenal fucking person.
no, I'm not saying that you're not. I think that you're dope. But what I am saying is that we start to walk down a a very fine line,
Mhm.
right? When we try to claim one thing and big one thing up, but then when we use the terminology of another that was, potentially used as a negative context, right? And mind you, hoe, slut, whore, all those things were used for negative context, right? So we try to say, okay, cool, we're gonna big this one up. But then when we use train, it's like, well, you're using it negative. Well, why don't you big that one up too? Because you can't just do one without the other.
Because there's another word for it, is what I'm telling you.
No, there's
And
not.
There isn't a
No,
threesome.
A threesome means everybody, all three parties, are having sexual intercourse. That's what a threesome is.
No, it is not. In a threesome, sometimes somebody is stepping out to use the fucking bathroom or have a snack. It's still a threesome.
But did they have sexual intercourse?
They're
I don't
yes,
care if you
they're
take a
all
break. You
yes,
can take 7
they're
breaks.
all engaging. But that
No,
doesn't
but
mean
there's
that
different versions
the
of
men
it, is
are
what
not
she's saying.
in an MFM threesome. The men are not engaging with one another. They are the woman is the focal point of that. And so in a train, the idea of a train is that the woman is also the focal point, but she's being degraded to this man. There might be bukkake
Well,
or
I'm
something.
trying
Like
to
it's meant
say-
to be this degrading fact of
And
it.
that's what I'm saying.
What happens when it's more than a threesome? Let's say it's 4 or 5 men who and 1 woman. Does that
Gang-
context change?
That's not a threesome anymore. Foursome, moresome, or a gangbang.
Well,
Okay, so
gangbang
it's-
doesn't have negative
Wait, so
connotations.
tell us. So more than 3 people, you said is
Foursome, moresome,
or
orgy.
moresome.
Couple swap, gangbang.
And what does that turn? I guess like, are there any negative connotations related to those terms?
Yes, there's going to be negative connotations for any of the terms. Gangbang. I mean, I feel like once you go out of 2 men or 2 of the dominant person or whatever, that's when you're moving into gangbang territory. And again, that's the situation there. Everybody doesn't have to be engaging at the same time. You might be in and out. It might be 2 people here, 3 people here, doing whatever the fuck is going on. But it can be something that can be used as a term to degrade, or it can be you just want a gangbang. I want 6 people fucking me. That's gangbang.
There's never been. See, this is what I'm saying, and this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing wrong if you're a woman and you want to have train ran on you. So that's what I'm trying to say. Take away reclaim, right, the terminology of each one, right? Because now we get, like I said, now it's kind of confusing because we're saying it's cool to be like, yo, you know what? I embrace that I'm a slut or a hoe or whatever, right? But then we're going to say, no, we can't embrace train because it has negative connotations. But then we're going to embrace gangbang. But from my personal life and the 20 plus years that I've been here, right? Gangbang has more of a negative connotation from what I grew up in than threesome. Like if you got gangbanged and there's women that I know that got gangbanged, right? She was completely gone. Like where it was damn near deemed unvaluable to be another man's wife. Like this is how, like I said, the time that I grew up. But if you had a train ran on you, it was just a train ran on you. So now what I'm trying to say is reclaim everything. Don't reclaim parts and try to push towards, let's use a vaguer term for train, but yet we're going to go ahead and boast and big up the slut. And we're going to change the connotation that's around gangbang. Do it across the full circumference.
I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I am also, anybody is also still allowed to say, no, I'm not getting a train ran on me. I'm having a MFM threesome. I'm still allowed to do that.
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is just because, let's say if I use the word train, don't take what you have, I'm not saying you do, but don't take what you have associated with that term and assume. I think that's what we need to do.
It's not an assume. It's a preference. I'm saying I hear what you're saying, and I understand when somebody says a train. I know exactly what they mean. I'm coming from the same age and the same era, and obviously the same place that you're coming from. So I understand. But that was also used. That was a term that was used to deem a woman unvaluable.
Yeah.
To give these negative connotations to the word. I'm not getting a train ran on me. That also even takes my power away from me. I'm not powerless in this situation. I'm still the active member in this. The same way everybody else is an active
You're
member
actually
in
the
this.
most power, but like I get it, and I don't even want to debate it, right? Because I understand it, but what I'm saying is, using it as an example is like the N-word, right? N-word was made with a negative connotation of it. We did change slightly bit of it, right, to make it a more empowering thing, right? But now guess what? At the same time, you still walk around this slippery slope, because if certain people decide to use the word, it becomes offensive. But if certain people decide to use the word, it's okay. So what I'm trying to say in the same context is that if we're going to go ahead and take everything that's associated with this word train, and we're going to big it up, and we're going to strip the negative connotations of those, then we can't just leave that out. Now, obviously, you know, like you stated, we are amongst the same areas and grew up around the same places, such, right? And we understand what it was made for. But what I'm trying to do, and what I think what we here at the table try to do, is say, you know what? Forget why it was made, if it was in a negative space, right? This is a no judgment zone. We need to make a place where we can say something and strip that negativity out of it. I don't think as a train getting ran at on a woman makes her less or not empowered. I personally find her the most empowered, because she's the one that's willing and able, and she's, you know, to let whatever happen in that space, in that moment. And if she says no, all of that goes out the window. She actually holds the most power in that specific situation, you know? So all I'm saying is I don't like when we tie negative connotations on that word, and then we try to group it with a more vaguer word. That's all I'm saying.
Again, I understand and hear what you're saying, but you are still allowed, whether it is the N word or not, you are still allowed to be like, I don't want to be called that.
Yep.
And I don't want that term used to be in this reference. You're still able to do that.
I agree.
So we gotta wrap it up.
Okay.
But I
agree.
But I want you
Good
to
job.
like leave us with some jewels, because I feel like a lot of, and I'm just gonna speak for women. I feel like a lot of women don't feel empowered to be sexual, don't feel empowered to be very open about their sexuality and their desires and what they like and don't like. And at whatever point they do feel like that, it takes time. It takes age and maturity to get there, you know, and a lot of dicks to get there, you know. So I think if you could like leave women and address the men as well, but like if you could leave us with like some jewels that we could like hold on to that could help us going forward with like, you know, our sexual experiences, what would that be?
The biggest one that I would give is that sex is not a bad word. Period. A lot of people like to say doing it, we did it, we hooked up. They like to use all of these different terms instead of like we had
That's
sex.
a good point.
We smashed.
Sex is not a bad word. It's not a curse. It's not
good
something
point.
negative. Once you can start using the word, you can actually start expressing what you want and exploring more of what you want to do. If you can't even say the word, if you are so shameful that you can't even say the word, how are you going to dig into what you actually want sexually?
Yeah.
So actually start using the word sex. It's not a curse. It's something that you can say to kids. Kids can know what sex is. It doesn't have to be this shame and negativity associated around it. That is the biggest thing that you can do, and that'll start to, you know, progress forward in your desires and your wants and your needs.
Bam.
Do we have to cut right now? I have so many questions. All right, so because I'm putting myself in a position, because the woman that first told me or showed me how to make another woman truly be comfortable with whatever she wants during that sex was an older woman while I was a younger man, right? So, I guess like my question is, how can we help younger women be more transparent with men around their same age group, so then that way everybody on both sides of the spectrum could kind of, you know, push the needle to having a great healthy sexual experience going forward in their life?
I want to start with you, and I'm not going to pick at you, but I am going to pick at you a little bit.
Damn.
That starts with
You asked the question.
if a woman says that the term is not a train, not calling it that, because she already is going to have her defenses up if you can't even listen to what she's saying.
Okay, I get
So
it.
listen to what people are saying, and create a space, create an environment that is conducive to learning that person. And even, you know, I hate going back to this stuff, but there are literally checklists online where you can try different sexual acts and different kinks and figure out what you like and what you don't like. Yeah. Be willing to be explorative with that person. Be willing to explore toys, different positions, sex in different places, sex with different people. Be willing and open to do that. And when you can create a space where a woman is open to do that, that's when you see when people like her freak really came. That's when you see her inner freak. That's when you really get into the depths of what it is that's going to make her come, what it is that is really going to make her pussy wet, that's going to make her orgasm in a way that's not performative and fake. When you can create a space where she is free and open to be that, that is how it happens. But you have to start by listening to what is being said and putting your ego aside.
Do you think that like it's important? Like, at what age would you say recommended? Obviously, we're not like experts and doctors and whatnot, but we are.
She the expert.
Well,
I mean, not.
She's a sexpert.
I say I'm
She's
not
a
I'm not an
sexpert.
expert. I am an enthusiast.
I like that. All
I
right,
like
so
that
like,
too.
what age? Like, because at one point we picked up that, you know, it's everybody in a sense, and I'm paraphrasing. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody is kind of responsible for knowing their body, women and men, right? At what point do you think a woman should really start to press or push the needle forward in knowing her body, so then that way she can be transparent on the ways and the things that she likes for her to have a proper sexual experience?
When she reaches a point where she is wanting to engage in sex with other people. So if that is in college age, if that is late 20s or early 30s, whatever, at what point she wants to engage in sex with different people, I think it is our responsibility, man or woman or anybody else, to know what you want. You cannot ask for what you want if you don't know. You cannot ask to be touched in a way that you want to be touched if you don't even know what you like. You gonna ask somebody to suck your titty and be like, damn, I don't even really got that much sensation in my nipples. Like, that's not even my thing. Like, you should know that stuff about yourself, but you cannot do that until you've explored yourself. You need to have touched every part of your body and all of the ways that you can touch your body with all of the things that you can touch your body before you're asking somebody else to do it, because you don't even know what you like.
I have a question, and this, some people might not like this, but like, what role do you think parents have in creating that safe space for both male and female children to be free and open and use the correct terminology and not feel ashamed when they in the bed and they touching themselves? Because I mean, we know kids do it. You know what I'm saying? So what role do parents? I mean, they do.
They definitely
what role
do.
do parents play in that?
This is me coming as a person who has no children, but I was raised by my mama, and that starts with creating a space that is safe to be able to have the conversations and not shaming words like sex and not shaming them for touching themselves as a baby when they touch them. So my nephew was like 2 when he was like rubbing on his dick. All he knows is that I touched this and it feels good. That's all he knows. It's not sexual.
It's like eating a Cheeto. The
like,
Cheeto tastes good.
It tastes good. I touched this part of me and it feels good. And my sister's like, no, don't do that. And I'm like, don't do that because you're going to shame him out of doing it. It's not something to be shameful about. It feels good.
Right.
It feels good. So that it's creating a space that says you have to do that. You cannot do that when other people are around. You have to do that when you are by yourself. That, creating that space is like a first step, but then also using the terminologies, understanding what the vagina is, the vulva is, the penis is, the fucking ball, like knowing the terminology and knowing the words and not using the vulgar words, the cookie, the pocketbook and all that.
Words,
like, don't do it. It's a vulva. It's not a fucking cookie.
Yeah,
giving them that word, giving them that vocabulary to even be able to express themselves is a good place to start. But then also expressing in a way that's not shameful or aggressive or scary, teaching them about sex and not. My mama taught me about sex in a way that was like, this is the only thing she kind of taught us in a way that was like, this is your value and this is the only thing that men are going to want you for. So don't give it up. Yeah. That was how I was taught about sex. So it was like.
I think that's what most women are taught, to be honest.
I mean, I think, but not. If I had to say a 15-year-old girl in 2022, I disagree. But
her mom,
but the moms are younger than our moms were old. Their moms are way younger.
That's
now.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's a different.
They mama 27.
This is a different. It's a different thing.
Be free.
It's a different thing.
All right.
But honestly, even if they're living free, I still don't think that's the message that they're giving.
That's not the
message.
I feel like the message isn't quite coming across the way it used to, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I absolutely agree. Yeah.
The messaging is very
Before
different.
It was like but I think that might be a male perspective. But I think that was more so probably beneficial. Like sometimes, like
what's beneficial to you? Is it delaying sex? Is that what's beneficial about it?
It's delaying sex. I'm gonna add a layer to that. I think it was beneficial to delay sex until you truly knew or know what it is that you want and wanted to do with your sex.
But how will you figure that out? But for
I
having
mean, by like
sex?
in terms of giving it to
But
whomever.
even on the other side of that, sometimes I know for me, it got to a point where it was like, now I never know when somebody wants me just for sex or otherwise. Because if he buys you flowers, he just wants sex from you. If he opens the door, he just wants now.
You don't know how
But
to,
like-
how to
but- differentiate
yeah.
But you ever heard the terminology, you rather be safe than sorry? Because then there's also the flip end spectrum where it's just too free. And now you start and listen, we know sometimes when you start in one area of your life and you go down that area and that path, you can never bounce back. Not saying that you're not able to as a person, but a lot of people can't get off of that route. So there's
like what, like bounce back from being a whore?
or
Is
yeah,
that what
like
you're
so like there's a lot of things that people do in their life at an early age, right? That are not good and some are good, right? But when you do a lot of things at an early age, it exposes you to a lifestyle that is too much and too advanced than you're willing to be able to, or not willing, but your ableness to comprehend. So then what happens is I'm this is terrible, but what I'm doing is I'm comparing it to a street life, right? So if you jump into the streets at 13, 14 years old, right, it's very hard for that 13 and 14-year-old at 20 to get out of that because he's been conditioned to be in that, or she has been conditioned to be in that. So if you're a woman and it's like, yo, be free with your sex, and you're 15 years old and you're being free with your sex, and some women, not all, you know what I'm saying, and men too, right? Some people are not going to be able to jump into a point where they could be like, yo, you know what? This is not truly what I want. Maybe they're just doing what they've been.
But you know, the only people who are going to have a problem with that, other women aren't going to have a problem with a woman who's been free sexually.
But I'm also not
it's
teaching
the
a
men.
15-year-old to be, I'm not teaching a 15-year-old that, but the other part of that is teaching them the consequences of their actions.
Yeah,
What happens? What happens if you are out here having sex and unprotected sex?
That's how
and
we
you are
were
now
raised.
getting
Everything was a
disease?
consequence.
Yeah, but you need to know. I think it's so important to know the consequences. Because if you're going to be doing this thing and living all wild and free and stuff like, you should know the consequences of your
consequences.
You should you should know the consequences of your actions.
I agree. Yeah,
because you are responsible for it. Your parents are not responsible for it. Raising a baby, if you get pregnant, that's your responsibility to do.
And I think, and that's what I was really trying to come across and say, but I didn't even articulate it or think of it in that way. But and that's the problem that I feel like we have in today is like everything is so free that there's
no one's considering consequences.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, cool. If you want to go ahead and do that, well, guess what? This consequence can come from that. Are you willing to say okay once that happens, if it happens, And I think that that's very important.
That's the role of the parents to also teach that as well, to teach the consequence, but not from not from a place of shame. Yeah. Not if you kiss a boy, you're going to get pregnant, because first of all, that's fucking false. But teaching
that's a bit.
But a lot of parents did. My mama did it. She told us if you kissed the boy, you was going to get pregnant.
Really?
And it was going to ruin your life. You was never going to be able to have anything.
It was installing fear.
Shame. She apologized for that recently, but she taught us about sex from a place of fear. She wanted us to fear sex.
Yeah.
Wow. And then when it's actually happened, now she's like, "Oh, isn't it great? It feels good." And I'm like, "But that's not how you taught it to us. Yeah. You taught us to be scared of it."
We were actually having a conversation earlier. See, like with me, like even when I was in high school, and my mom, I would tell my mom like, "Yo, I like this girl," like, saying we did this, that, third, like, and even when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, we had these conversations, and I would.
That's a boy, mom.
And I would
not how daughters and mothers operate.
But what I'm saying is, because I appreciated that, right?
Am I right, Marie?
And now, like I was telling Alan, like if my daughter was to have sex, I want to have such a relationship with her that she's gonna tell me. Like I said to Aaron, I don't want the details though. Don't give me the details.
Daddy, I had my face smashed into the couch
tell you what he was
last
doing.
But like I want her to be like, cause like I don't need nobody around me that can't be transparent around me, including my kids. You know what I'm saying? Including I don't want, if you can't be transparent with me, just don't be around me.
But
you know what I'm saying?
That takes a level of creating the safe. It goes back to creating a
safe
safe space where somebody is comfortable and able and willing to do that with you, because they know they're not going to.
But you said you were willing to create that space.
That's what I want to do. But at the same time, I'm not going to cap. There are going to be some not so safe spaces on certain things that you are doing. So if you out here being, if baby Violet is out here being grown Violet at 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, we're going to have a lot of conversations. But I also do think that you know, I don't want to dive into another layer, but
Mhm.
there's a very pivotal part that parents play when it comes to a lot of decisions that kids make, you
Mhm.
know. But I don't.
They create the
Knock on wood.
context.
They create the
Knock on
foundation
wood,
of
that don't
Absolutely.
happen. All right.
Well, so
Don't just well us.
I literally tried to log off like 30 minutes ago, but Rico wants to keep talking.
I needed like a couple more questions. That's all.
But no, I think that you've given us a lot of really good information when it comes to the basics of like how we need to proceed sexually. Because if you don't have the foundation, like your house is on sand, you know. So yeah, there we go.
I like
Talk
that.
about it.
That's a zinger for you.
on
But
sand.
but
Quicksand.
so in closing, I want you to let us know your dates, your upcoming events, your IG. Let us know every single thing so that people can follow you, can support, can come to the events, because that's what we definitely want to happen.
All right, so I can be found at The Fun Sexual on Instagram and Twitter. The link in my bio on Instagram will give you all of the information. I do have a play party coming up in Washington, D.C. August 20th, but y'all are unfortunately going to miss that, and it's sold out anyway because everything I do sells out. But I am doing Femme Stations Part 2 in Bushwick, Brooklyn on September 3rd. That is a play party for women and femme-identifying folks. And I will definitely be having more things throughout the year. So just follow me on Instagram. You can find out about all of that stuff.
Well, thank you for coming here. We enjoyed having you. Everybody, please like, subscribe, all platforms. I'm talking about Majesties. I'm talking about Aaron's 8 at the Tables, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube and or Patreon. And we'll see you next time here at 8 at the Table.
Bye, guys.